So yes, come back to this what we talked last time. You know that the root of Ashiqs was to be on a borderland and also connection with this spirituality in Central Asia. This was like a root of this, and so I found an amazing recording from Uyghur people, and this is one of not so many examples of trance music of Uyghurs. You know, they in China they have just one label that they can recording something like true trance music connected to Ashugs. One moment. So today we also will go with the word sevda, which is connected to Persian. Yes, Magda can explain more. And we will start from China now, from a Uyghur country, and we will finish. We will try to finish in Africa, which is amazing. You know how to this connection is. Yeah. This is also typical, like makams there. You know, they took also lyrics sometimes from Rumi and classic Persian poetry. And next country that we visit, you know, it's Uzbekistan, where they have they are, for me, they are masters of this kind of Sufi poetry, and they use amazing instruments, and the sound is unique. This is my favorite singer from Uzbekistan. One moment.
So sevda is, as Raphael already mentioned, is a word that originates in Persian language, and it means melancholy. It means sadness, and in this very form, sorrow. Sevda, and in this form, it was adopted in Georgian language, like many of many of words that carry some kind of philosophical meaning. But it is notable that it traveled via Ottoman Empire and settled as a concept of being something as a settled, because basically the originals again in this in this state of mind that is described as longing, as longing to something that you cannot have, that is unreachable, and this could be physical love between man and woman, impossible love, or this could be the existential melancholy as well. This is very this word settled in Balkans, and Balkan people know what I am talking about. Becoming a synonym of the whole entire music genre in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the songs which represent that folk style are very much connected with Bosnia and Herzegovina these days, and they are called Sevdalinka, and this is exactly what it is about.
Okay, and next one moment. I try to jumping a little bit because last time we listened some examples from another countries, but yeah, for now, Sevdalinka. But it's after I will show you some amazing example, because Saudades from Portugal, which is which is fado, but fado is also a very complicated story, you know. So everything is connected, and you can finish this like you can make a circle from Angola to Mozambique, you know, and there is the end of kind of this Sevda idea, yes, circle, yes. So next one, little bit, we come back to the root of Ashiqs, and we go to Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. This is also Ashik song, but instrumental. This is what I remember. They play on amazing flutes. So this is example which is connected to some story, you know, about like Saint Deer in our region. It exists everywhere. We have two photos. You can show second one. Yes. This is harp. This is harp, which is exist in two countries. Gdzie jest druga? Oh, and second is.
That's a different one.
So it means the same.
Completely different countries. So it's like Kazakhstan and.
It's harp.
And so the first one was.
One was from Kazakhstan and second from Abkhazia. So this is example. Maybe here I don't remember. Let me see. No, this is not Abkhazia. No, this is not. Sorry, it's. This is connected to some Black Sea myth. You know that it's a general. The Kalmuks have this mythology, you know, but every, you know, this part of the world they had some similar mythology about deer who help people crossing the swamps, you know, and the swamps was also symbolic, you know, and this myth still exists in Kalmukia, and I want to try to find. Oh, here I can find. This is sound of harp from Kazakhstan. It's YouTube, so you can little bit see. In Abkhazia, you have a lot of songs with harp also, and harp exists in Georgia also a little bit. Still, it's a very old instrument and exists in many cultures in the region. For example, bandura in Ukraine. It's also the root of bandura is from Greek culture. But also, I want to jump to Ukraine because I had some amazing meeting in the 90s with Ashug from Ukraine. He was amazing guy, Mikhail Ohai. He died like last year maybe. He was a lira player, hardy-gardy player, and he was typical. You know, he was from old school of this kind of Ashugs, but it's not Ashug. It's like how would they call lirnik? Yes, it's something. Yeah, so he played on hardy-gardy and sang. You know, some. Sorry. This is not for us. This was intro. This was this guy. I met him in the 90s when I was very young, and he told me his story how he was teaching, you know, and it was an amazing story. He came to Poland with this Soviet box, we used this for buy meat, you know, like amazing, you know, and he had the 2 liras inside. They sang about love and religion stuff. Also, Soviets, they start to push them to sing about Lenin, you know, and they burned their liras and destroyed, you know, almost destroyed this culture. He was the first guy who come back to lira tradition. A lot of Polish people learned from him to come back to South Polish tradition of lira. He was like a master in Poland. Yes? And also I have amazing music, like kind of Sufi Ashik, you know, from Crimea. It's not often that you can hear original music from Crimea, Tatar music, and this one of the recording that they are much original, you know, with sound and older tradition. Culture was, of course, on Crimea was destroyed a lot. But some parts of Crimean culture you can find also in amazing places. Like I just came from there, from Genoa, in Italy, because they had the power, you know, to have Crimea for some time, and they have a lot of influences from Crimean culture. Also with music, they have choirs that they are a little bit connected to this region, you know? So this is something also amazing.
So actually, a woman singing brought me to one of the branches, so topics within the topic that I wanted to talk about, which is the role of women in the Ashik culture. And there were many and quite famous, and those whom we know about because they were their names are preserved in history are, for instance, legendary Ashik Zerinkar of Derbent, who, as legend had it, had beaten 39 other Ashiqs in a contest for riddles because, as we said, that was the main sort of show that they were engaging in. It was called Deishime, and they were very serious about it because you could lose your instrument if you lost, and that was very humiliating. But as the legend has it, that famous Ashik Zeringar beat 39 male Ashiks, and she had a deal with them that if they lose with her, she's free to kill them. But then Ashik Valech of Karabakh appeared and was able to win over her in a riddle contest. And so the legend says that she marries him and releases the other 39. But particularly in Shirvan Shahanat, they had a lot of esteem for women Ashiks, and in the 18th and 19th centuries there is a lot of women figures being written in the history. And while we are still listening to the music, I'll tell you. Okay, so shall we jump over the Black Sea, Raphael? Yes? Yes, okay, are we ready? Okay, so we were circling around the topic of Ashiqs a lot, and of course we cannot close it without properly mentioning Sajat Nova. And those who know, they know that we actually know very little about himself, about his life. However, we have a poem, because there are lots of assumptions. Where was he born? I mean, we more or less know where he died. That is still, though, not proven, but we do know. We have a grave in Tbilisi, and he's undoubtedly the best Ashug, as we say, as they say in Georgian, composer and poet of his time, and he was perfectly multilingual, and he had a custom of writing his poetry in other script than actual language was. So, for instance, there's a lot of poems that he wrote in Georgian but in Armenian script, and vice versa. This particular one, because he knew at least, we know because of his writing, at least 4 languages, perhaps more, fluently, to the extent that he could compose poems. But this particular one, he wrote in Azerbaijani language, in Armenian script, and it says in translation, one says Sajat Nova is from Naradan, and I will say in a moment what this Naradan means. One says India, another Hamadan. My homeland is Tiflis, Georgia Oreias. My mother is of Avlabar, my father of Aleppo. And if you've seen, I mean, you've seen the Color of the Pomegranate, the movie about Sajat Nova that Parajanov did. So that word Naradan is translated. I have my personal suspicion that this is where the title of the movie derives from, because obviously it's one of the famous poems of Sajat Nova, and Parajanov must have known it. And Naradan can be translated as a juice of pomegranate. So this could be derived from that. And I wanted to share with you another stanza, which I think would resonate with us, all of us here. Mercy on the old master, building his bridge. May the passerby add a stone to its foundation. A friend will set up a rock to mark my grave. I worked myself to death for the sake of the nation. The thing is about this poem that it was written in Azerbaijani with Georgian script, and we cannot really say what nation he was talking about. And I wanted to also say about another Ashik of that time, which is Yetim Gurji, which is originally Yetim Dabrishvili, which comes from a family forcefully displaced. He was refugee. His family was refugees, forcefully displaced to Turkey and Islamized. And his father comes to Tbilisi, and this is where Yetim is born. But his name means an orphan, and that name is very faithful for him because his parents died very early, and he's left alone to take care after his sister. First his father dies, then his mother dies, and he was absolutely self-taught, also in very multilingual and multicultural environment. And he was, and why I'm talking about him, we used one of his poems as a basis for a composition in the program of the concert, but less known one, the one that I have actually read in the beginning, but the most well-known poem of him is was written when he returned from exile, from prison sentence that he was served for avoiding Russian army. And it is actually, I was very surprised to find out while researching on that it is possible that he was serving his sentence in actual Poland of that time, in Dubno prison of Wołyń, which would be quite amazing actually, but that needs to be double checked. So I will stop here.
So we come back a little bit to Persia, and I have some amazing recordings of contemporary people who use Ashik culture, and they in the 70s or 90s after they exchanged for kind of original psychedelic music. So first one will be Korush Jagmei. It was a pre-revolution in Persia, amazing singer and composer. He was he stayed after revolution, and the secret police, they burned his studio. They even destroyed Cable's Jack, because they said that it's United States, like a invention. So they destroyed everything. But fortunately, his master tapes was stealing, and someone took this to Los Angeles. So we can listen a little bit. He used a lot of poems like Rumi's and these classical poems. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Okay. Next one will be from 90s. It's about this fragile region, between Armenia and Azerbaijan. It's Rustem Kuliyev. I told you last time about amazing instrument that arrived in Pakistan. So here was amazing history because when Karabakh refugees they arrived in Baku, they wanted. General Baku started to be a rich town, and they wanted to have some kind of traditional, but also with a deep roots music, So they found synthesizers and electric guitars from Czechia. They also always play on one model of guitar. And what was amazing, they found in these refugees that they have this special melody, that which was of course this kind of sound of borderland, because they knew how to play Armenian music, So they exchange a lot of titles and everything, and they create something which is amazing, this guitar tradition from Baku. So this is example. Next one is also Caucasus, but north. It's this is my friend's band. The band, the name of the band is Jerpejesh. They are Carcasians and they Cherkess. Yes. And they collecting. They have amazing archives of Caucasus music from mostly minorities. Sometimes they recorded last people, who have some tradition, and they also rebuilt some kind of tradition of Cherkessians, also kind of Ashugs, the singing together. They escaped from Russia now. They living in Germany, and unfortunately, they had a promise, for amazing contracts and everything, but now everybody think, and think about them as Russians, so they don't have a, story of Cherkessians, they are not Russians and they don't feel Russians, but this is the story from other side, yes. And they recorded amazing program with music against Soviets, again, from the Cherkessians' view, yes, side. So now we're jumping to Sevdalinka. You know, this is what we talked about beginning. It will be him Zapolovina, and mentioned about him yesterday. He was a musicologist and musicotherapist, and he believes that Sevdalinka is a very, you know, the best music for. He was a psychologist, yeah, or psychiatric, some in Sarajevo. Yes, yeah. So he teach, and it's yeah.
In a way, it's very true. It's exactly the intention.
So two
yeah.
examples of Sevdalinka. One is like a traditional Sevdalinka with a band. Yes.
It's like in Bosnia, you know. My mother used to listen to this in radio, but Bosnian versions, yes.
It's medicament, you know.
There is a radio that plays only that. I have listened to it a lot. My mother does, not me, but like I have.
Yeah, and he sang with a typical orchestra, but also he rebuilt this tradition with shargia, yes, and it's kind of saz. It exists from
My grandfather used to make it.
shargia, yes. Wow, amazing.
And play
Yeah.
also.
So he also recorded much original, you know, Sevdalinka or these songs with shargia. They are connected to also Bektashi, some Sufi also.
And there is the word that also caught my attention in this song, which is dunya, and it's a concept that it's a concept that also travels, and you see and you hear that word throughout all the languages that that we are mentioning here, and that is from Balkans to Caucasus. Do you have it in Armenian? Dunia. Exactly. And yes, it comes from Arabic, but it is connected with like a concept of the life on a like what would you say? It's human existence essentially. It's a human existence in this world. That's what it means. Dunya.
Yeah, and we are close to Serbia, and I want to show you just a taste of Ashiqs from Serbia. You have many traditions, but this one is very old. You know, instrument which he play. You know, he make accompaniment from this exists also in Pakistan, for example. So it's something amazing. How it's called? I don't remember. Jedna gusla. Yeah, gusla. And the scales you can see, you know, you can hear. Scales you have connected to ancient times, like.
So this type of instrument is gusle, and it's absolutely archaic instrument, as you can hear. And in Polish language, it transformed in because guslar is a
Guślarz.
tak, it's the same as Polish guślarz. Is a is a shaman basically. Shaman storyteller, guślarz.
So I try to be fast, you know. So now we go to that Sevdalinka, you know. We jumping a little bit. So this exchange for saudades. So you have the root of fado music from Portugal. It exists also as a couple of words in Spain. But now I will play for you amazing woman. I met her on the street, but
It comes from Africa, no?
no, this one is
Fado.
fado. It's complicated. I show you later, little bit. But you see, first fado was play with a triangle. They play like this. They were mostly blind people, and she was. I don't remember. Yeah, she was blind. I think. I met her. You know, she played until the end of life on the streets, but she was a very big star. You know, in Portugal. But she wanted to be with people. You know, close to people, and she stayed on the street. You know, I thought that she's like a beggar. You know, something. But she was. We talked little bit. Yeah.
And the connection between blindness and performance of that type of music is very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong. There were even schools that were teaching blind people how to perform because they were considered. It was not only a way of actually finding a purpose, but finding a purpose for a person that was visually impaired. But it was believed that because of their blindness, they were connecting worlds. They could see things that others could not.
Yeah, in Iraq it was a very big tradition. Jewish people they built some school for blind people, and they teach children how to survive. You know, they teach them this Ashiq kind of music. So I have one example of this. So we come back. This is Kanun, and singer is amazing. It's a compilation of blind famous singers. But after we come back to Africa and islands.
The same tradition of blind
blind,
the warriors who lost eyes in fight.
Yeah, but these schools start there, and you can finish on Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles because they were on these schools. You know, this came from Iraq mostly. Iraq, borders of. So you see, this is typical, like kind of Ashug, yes, singing with the passion and. Yeah. So in Spain you also have this kind of romances, these genres of music that they are connected to saudades. They don't use saudades as a word, but it's a lot. Just one example of this, and
it echoes Sevda a little bit, so that it does.
Gypsies, they were masters, of course. This is Camarón de la Isla. He was an amazing singer. This was a mixed band, flamenco, but also borderlanders, because he was a gypsy from the south, and guitarist Paco de Lucia, he was a Portuguese guitarist. So they were completely, out of society at the beginning. Nobody took care about this tradition too much, but borderlanders changed this tradition, not Spanish people, but these people from. Yeah.
That being said, the tradition that is now, Ksenia will agree with me, the brass bands, the most, I would even say the national symbol of Serbianness is actually a gypsy music adapted to local context, and they actually were mostly gypsy. The bands but then because Balkan is a very special case in regards with that. But the brass bands were nationalized by Serbian policymakers, and the whole entire music genre, which is called turbo folk in Serbia, let's say a type of taste. Yeah, it's and it basically up to today, because it was basically invented during 90s in the war times, and very much symbolizes this Serbianness during the war. So this is why people in Serbia today, they still connect the folk music with this, and it causes a lot of confusion, I would say. That people are not very not very keen on talking about it, really, because it has such a heavy connotation.
And lyrics also.
No, not so much as a style, generally, you know, the yeah.
Lyrics are about how you kill someone, your neighbor.
No, this is folk songs. It's not.
You're talking about football folks.
No, it's trash.
It's trashy. It's yeah.
I know one story about football folks. So in Bulgaria it's also popular, but not that much popular. And you know when you're throwing the money to the singer. So that's a good thing. In Bulgaria you are buying napkins and you're throwing napkins to the artist, and he collects it and changes it to the money.
Next one is Cabo Verde, and I choose not these famous, saudades singers like Cezara Evoira or this stuff. I choose amazing freaky guy. He used synthesizers to sing this tradition. In 70s. So because colonialism, this saudades idea, it came also to Angola, and it became the root of the movement anti-colonialist. They exchanged these saudades, especially one sport guy. They exchanged this for music, that were the part of the anti-colonialist movement in Angola. So next one, and just after I have just one. So this Angolan music. Angola, Cezara Evoira, for example, she used a lot of songs from Angola. And last one, it's like something extra, but also, it's connected to this tradition. It's a troubadour from Ethiopia, and it's amazing sound of harp also, and singing. He's singing, I think, psalms. So this is for the end. So it's kind of Ashug from Ethiopia. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, and yeah, let's keep on feeling passionate about music.